quite okay-ish. I don't know. This is another spontaneous live stream, and it might sound very echoey in here, and there's a reason for that, because this is one of the last days in this flat. Yeah, and I thought, you know what? I didn't really have too much time on my hands to work on new videos this month because I had so much to do in terms of, packing things. What does the song say actually? Packing books to boxes, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And there's the cam, right? I always want to look here, but it's here. um, so I thought, Mr. Lincoln Jason, hi. So I thought, you know what? Let's actually have another spontaneous live stream with you guys. And yeah, it sounds very empty in here, even though it's not totally empty, as you can tell, because the couch is still here and it will stay here. The future tenants will take this one, and I don't need to get rid of it. Same applies for other things, for instance, my desk and my old TV and all that kind of stuff. That stuff will stay here, and I'm about to move into the new flat, and I can't wait. It's really looking forward to that. And of course, I will show you around once I'm in, which might take a few days because I also have to set up my studio, my office room in there, and I will have to do certain things there, to get everything right. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Nüchen, hi! Brian Carey, hi! What are your plans for today? Today, well, it's still moving, I'm still, we have packed many things and we will carry them to the new flat today. So it's, the vast majority is already there. We start that in the garage that I have there in the garage. And yeah, today I will get the keys for the new flat, and the previous tenant will fly to the US tomorrow because she's actually emigrating from Germany to the USA. Cheers to Kerstin. Kerstin is a great, very, very heartwarming person that I had the pleasure of getting to know, and she's a great person. I really have to say that. And I'm gonna see her later today. In Germany, it's I think 1:45 p.m. right now, so it's pretty much still early in the day. And yeah, trying to read your comments. Wann geht's los? Was ist mit dem Hund passiert? So Nüchen is a very, very good friend of mine, dear Nina. Longtime friend. We've been friends for I think 24 years now. So what has happened to her dog? Because she wasn't sure, Kerstin, the one who emigrates to the USA, and who was the previous tenant of the flat that I'm about to move into, she didn't know if she could actually take her little dog with her to the USA because, of restrictions and everything, size and weight. And we don't know if it's gonna work out. We all hope it's gonna work out. She's gonna fly tomorrow, I think, from Germany to Amsterdam, and from Amsterdam to Atlanta. And as we all know, in terms of flights and boarding situations at airports at the moment, it could be quite difficult here and there to, get on the plane in time and everything. So, keeping our fingers crossed for Kerstin that she's gonna make it, and her son as well. And yeah, and the dog, of course. So yeah, and then next week I'm gonna be in the new flat, and it's cool. It's really cool. Nice sunny balcony, little small balcony, and it's a very light filled, a very brightly illuminated flat, which I really, really like. So it's very bright in there, so much sunlight coming in, and the view, the scenery that you have when you look out of the window or doesn't matter which window it is, which room it is, everywhere you look, you see the forest in the background, nature and all that. And it's gorgeous. I just love it. So I'm really stoked. Yeah. Guten Morgen, Vlog Dave. Wie geht's dir bitte auf Deutsch? Mr. Spock89. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. So, how are you doing in German? Okay. Well, mir geht's sehr gut, tatsächlich. Also, in den letzten Tagen war es in Deutschland sehr warm, aber ich komme mit den Temperaturen eigentlich ganz gut klar. Natürlich ist das auch mal anstrengend, wenn es sehr warm ist und man schauen muss, dass man nicht zu sehr schwitzt. Ich habe hier unten zum Beispiel eine Wanne mit Wasser. Ups. Und versuche mich dann immer ein bisschen abzukühlen. Aber im Großen und Ganzen klappt das ganz gut. Und ja, ich bin kurz davor, in eine neue Wohnung zu ziehen. Die Wohnung, in der ich jetzt gerade hier sitze, ist die alte Wohnung, aus der ich ausziehe. Und ich ziehe in eine neue Wohnung im selben Ort. Auch nicht allzu weit weg. Und das wird sehr, sehr schön. Da freue ich mich schon drauf. Und ich werde euch dann auch ein bisschen davon berichten, wenn ich denn eingezogen bin. Und ja. Dave, how long are you planning to stream for today? It's not gonna be an overly long stream, I don't think, but maybe an hour or so. Maybe an hour. Yeah, an hour-ish. So, because I felt that I wanted to stream again, and this is pretty much the last opportunity to do that in this flat. So it's pretty much like a goodbye to the flat here, because I've filmed so many videos in here, and in fact, my most successful ones, all the Rammstein, pretty much all, like 98% of all Rammstein videos were filmed in this flat with this setup right here. I can actually show you around a little bit and change the camera. So this is my living room, aka my office. You might recognize this perspective, this wall right here, this empty wall. This was where everything, all the pictures could be seen, and this was pretty much the background of all my videos, like from the past 4-ish years. This is the door to the floor, to the corridor. It's very empty already, so that was my little balcony. That was my workstation, my desk, with the two screens and the PC itself with a little Spyro on there. Love me some Spyro. The two lights up there, the two key lights, I always use them for live streams or making videos. On that shelf up there, I had stored or put special editions of albums, because I'm a big music fan and I have certain special editions of albums that I put there. And yeah, that is pretty much the living room and what's left of it. And most of it, as you can see, is already gone and has been moved to the garage of the new flat that I'm about to own. So yeah. Will you still be able to do nature walks at the new place? Hi, by the way. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but hi. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, most definitely. Everything, like the whole region where I'm living, is flooded with green spots. There are a lot of green spots here, lots of nature to explore and to, go for a walk and all that stuff. So it will still be possible, don't you worry. And I will still do that every now and then. A little on and about live stream in German nature with you guys. So yeah. By the way, first and foremost, Brian must go. I need to tend to my garden. Storm is coming where I live. Stay safe. And thanks for tuning in, Brian, once again. Everything is quite young. Good to see you well. Good luck with the new flat. thank you very much and stay safe yourself and cheers to where you live. And thanks for tuning in once again, Brian. Highly appreciate it. So every time I'm looking in this direction, by the way, I'm reading chat, and this is the it's sometimes I get things confused here and there, so please bear with me. I'm an old man. Ich habe schon eine Idee, wo wir mal laufen können. Sehr gerne, Nü. Sehr, sehr gerne. Wir können da generell mal sehr gerne spazieren gehen. Das würde mich sehr freuen. Also da bin ich an sich immer für zu haben. Ne? Es ist immer schön entspannt und gerade auch, wenn du so einen Bürojob hast wie ich, ne, dann ist halt so Bewegung halt auch ganz gut. Deswegen gerne, gerne. Sag gerne Bescheid und dann kriegen wir das hin. Ja. Stiletto, hello from Singapore. I think we all should tell him where we are tuning in from. Yeah, feel free to do that. I always enjoy that, you know. The other day, I also read I think yesterday actually, I received a comment from someone from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. And it just once again dawned on me, that there are people from all over the world apparently watching my videos, which is it's unbelievable in the best way possible, of course. So thank you all for your interest and your support, because it truly makes a difference. It truly means something, and it truly helps a lot. You know, sharing the videos, liking them, subscribing to the channel, of course. And maybe even if you want to and if you can, supporting me on patreon.com/vlogdave, or as a channel member on YouTube, or tips. Everything of that nature is completely voluntarily. Don't feel obliged to do that or at all. That's very important for me to say that, because that is the way I feel about it. And you should never feel obliged to do something like that. But if you want to and if you can, of course, it is very welcome. So I'm tuning in from Scotland. Hi to Scotland. I remember that actually, Mr. Lincoln Jason, from my previous live stream where you tune in. So yeah, I really want to go to Scotland at some point. Yeah. By the way, I hope the audio is quite all right, because as I've said before, because the room is quite large and now pretty empty, there's a lot of reverb coming from the walls, and some echo going on. So, cheers. And those of you who have seen my last stream from like a week, 2 weeks ago, which I actually had while I was going out for a walk. It was another spontaneous live stream. I actually said, I really need a selfie stick of sorts, because holding the smartphone with your hand all the way, like holding it like this all the way, you actually feel that in your hand and in your arm after a while. And I'm old, as I've said before. So I thought, I really need to get a selfie stick. And guess what? It just arrived yesterday. And this is the first time of me trying this. And I like it. I like it so far. Yeah. Because I can have, different angles to operate and everything. So that's awesome. Martina Livulanga. Livulanga? I hope I didn't butcher that. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning from the United States, Dave. Have a great day. Thank you all for what you do. Thank you very much for saying that, Martina. That is heartwarming. It truly is. Thank you. And I really, really appreciate that. And that's the way it is. Rachel Bude. Hi. How are you doing, Rachel? From where are you tuning in? I wonder. And what time is it in your place? Oh my God, you said my last name correctly. Thank you. And thank you very much for being a long-time supporter, by the way. Or supporter in general, which I can see from the little icon after your name. That is great. That is really great, and it helps a whole lot. It really does. So, because there are also things planned for the channel in the future, and my private life, where that really helps a whole lot. And yeah. Whew, pretty warm in here. Yeah, it really is. Had a great D&D, Dungeons and Dragons session yesterday, by the way. And the last one in this flat was much fun once again. Always fun how those sessions turn out to be, because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen next, It was much fun once again with Get Germanized and other friends of mine. So, yeah. And this is Taeyun Kim. I hope I didn't butcher that one either. Hi! Thanks for tuning in. Taeyun. Hi. Guys. So I don't know if I'll be able to have a proper, Q&A live stream this month, because of me moving into a new flat and things having to be set up. Probably not, but I definitely want to have one next month. Not just because it's gonna be my birthday month, because I'm gonna turn 31 on July the 13th, and I probably won't be able to stream on that day, but later in the month. Have a little, hangout, chill live stream with you guys if you want to. So, yeah. Oh yes, I think I remember, Rachel. Yeah, actually, I think you told me that. Was it in the last stream or in the past? I think you told me that. Yeah. Sorry, sometimes I keep confusing things. Good morning, Dave. Have a nice day. I want to ask something. What is the difference between das ist and dieser ist? Well, that is, you could say that das ist could be comprehended as being more general, whereas dieser is more specific, because dieser, it means that specific one. Imagine, a difference could be, it depends on the context, of course, as it's the case with many things, but imagine someone says, well, I have a good example. Dieser. Not really. Oh, well, maybe. Gonna try to explain that. Hope it won't confuse anyone. This is der Stift, the pen, right? So I could refer to this one by saying, gonna hold it here, or I'm gonna do it this way. Das ist der Stift. That is the pen. But I could also say dieser Stift. I could be more specific in terms of what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to another pen in the room. I'm referring to this specific pen, dieser Stift, right? So that could be a difference, even though in some situations it could be used synonymously, whether it's das ist or dieser ist. So, yeah. That is pretty much one of the biggest differences there, I would say. Hope that helped. Jadmundar. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, Dave. I missed it. Why are you moving to a new place? There are a few reasons. Has nothing to do with my neighbors here, because I love my neighbors here. They're very kind people, and I always got along with them awesomely. Is that even a term? Awesomely? But it is like that, That wasn't the case. One of the reasons is that I wanted to have my own office and my own studio room. Because right now, as you can see, I'm gonna show you once more. This is my living room. So my old one. And this is my office. And as you can see, it's the same room. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I want to have the opportunity to, lock my office, to have a separate room with my studio in it, and be able to say, I'm gonna close the door, enough work today, and that's it. I want to have a distinction between the living area, the living room, which is maybe more associated with downtime, and the office. So I want to have that distinction more clearly. That's one reason. Another reason is quite practical. In Germany, it makes a difference in terms of taxes. If you have an office that you can actually lock, if it's like a separate room, or if it's like a part of a living room, as it's the case here. Because if it's a separate room, it's really beneficial in terms of paying taxes. That's simply the way it is. That's another reason. Gotta be honest, that's another reason. But who doesn't want to save money, right? Another reason is that I have a very, very small bathroom with no windows in it. And I wanted to have a bathroom with windows. And I also, it's very hard to get like a parking lot here where I live, because I live in a one-way street. And it's really hard, each time I wanted to invite friends over, I did that once or twice here, but not so often, because they wouldn't have so much space to park, without having to walk meters and meters and meters. And it was just annoying me as well. And that's one of the reasons. And one of the initial wishes that I had doesn't come true with my new flat, but if everything goes according to plan, it will remain my last flat. We'll see. I wanted to have a bathtub. I like taking a bath. I really enjoyed bathing in the previous flat where I lived with my parents. And this flat doesn't have a bathtub, and the next one doesn't have one, but the rest of the flat is just so awesome that I just love it. The size is perfect, I feel. The interior is perfect, the furniture for what I need and what I want to have, and it's just great. So those are the main reasons for me moving there. By the way, Nico, hi! Der Graf, another friend of mine, YouTube friend, and also like a colleague, if you will, in the field of media production. Great guy. So I hope that answered the question. So those were the main reasons, basically. But it's not too far away, so it will remain the same city and everything. So it's gonna be an improved living condition, if you will. Mir geht es gut, danke dir. Ich wohne in München. I read that. Ein bisschen hier, kein Problem, ja. We'll be friendly, polite to each other. I won't spam and try not to write in caps. That is very appreciated, Nico, der Graf. Hey. I love it. Sag mal, hast du einen blauen Fleck an der Stirn? No, I don't think so. Nee, ich habe keinen. Do you have like a bruise on your forehead? No. None that I know of. Like I didn't hit my head or something? No. Maybe it looks like that? Maybe I'm just getting old? I don't know. No. Or do you mean this one? No. I think that was pretty much like a little sunburn, actually, because, yeah. I was, maybe it also is like an effect of, or from the last concert that I went to last weekend, which was Rammstein. I'm gonna make a vlog about that, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that, but it was a freaking awesome show. Gotta be honest, it was one of the most impressive concerts, if not the most impressive concerts I've ever been to. And no matter if you like Rammstein's music or not, the show itself is worth the money and is worth the experience. My honest opinion. I like Rammstein, I definitely like their music, but I get when people don't like them. It's not, everyone's cup of tea, which is totally okay, of course, but the show itself, wow. The production value of that, pretty much astounding. Um, Einhorn. I'm turning into a unicorn. Das Einhorn. Whoa, that was a very American pronunciation. Das Einhorn. The one horn, translated literally, which means unicorn in German. Das Einhorn. Ich denke, es ist okay, weil jetzt ein Sommer da ist. Da der Nord Stream gesperrt ist, ist es sehr stark seit dem Winter. Ich bin skeptisch, ob Russland und Ukraine bis diesen Winter vereinen können. Well, that's gonna be really, really tough. We'll see, Let's hope for the best, of course. I can tell you that I still depend on you yourself if that extra room will work out for you or not. But for Texas, that does make a lot of sense. Yes, it does. It's one of those reasons or one of those things you might not say, as the first reason, but it really makes a difference, and it should make a difference because I don't know yet for sure. All I know is that it will make a difference. How much the difference will be, I don't know yet, because right now, that is my office. My living room is my office. My body is over the ocean. No, yeah, but it's really comfy to actually stream from the couch, with the selfie stick that I now own. It's really cozy and comfy. Yeah, maybe I should do that more often. And technically speaking, I could also have live streams from my balcony in the future. But I don't know. We'll see. There's also a bit of pride that comes with a nice office. That is true. That is true as well. Yes. And it's the one and only room in the new flat where I really have to do some work in order to set everything up, because I'm gonna get a new desk, I'm gonna get a new chair, I'm gonna get 2 new screens, I'm gonna get 2 new sound speakers. I'm also gonna get what else? I also intend to have a second Shure SM7B, my microphone, for podcast recordings in the room, because I also intend to have, maybe like 2 or 3 chairs in there, or like a little couch or something like that. When people come visit me and we want to record a podcast episode or a video together, it's gonna be nice and comfy, and so I want to have like a second microphone of that in the future, and it's gonna be awesome. I hope it's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait for everything to be set up. And once everything is set up, I'm gonna show you around, and I'm gonna show you the new setup. And because I also feel like I also owe that to you guys, because your support, as I've said before, through Patreon, PayPal, or also YouTube, as a channel member, it also flows into that, of course. It also contributes to that, and to me having the equipment to make videos in the first place. So yeah. Also, Dave, what's your opinion on custom fonts like the one I have on? I don't mind custom fonts. I like different fonts. I like the stylistic differences when it comes to fonts and all that kind of stuff, as long as they are readable. Because certain fonts are really creative and really, very detailed and everything, and nothing wrong with that. But if it takes away from the reading experience and it makes it harder to read that font and what's written in that font, that is not the purpose of a font, I don't think. You know, it should be readable. So as long as it's readable, with you know, no serifs and everything, Serifen and Versalien, you know, and however all that works out, you know, the size of letters and capitalized letters and all that. As long as that is readable, and you know, why not? You know, more power to different fonts. You can come over and take a bath in my flat. Ah, I might actually come back to that in the future, Nico. We'll see. But thanks for the offer, of course, because that's literally the one and only thing that the new flat is missing. It doesn't have a bathtub. So, but okay, you know, I can live with that. I can live with that, even though at first I had like three main points that I wanted to have the new flat to fulfill and to have. An own parking lot, if possible, so that I wouldn't have to rely on public parking spots and, you know, and sometimes not finding one and all that BS. Secondly, a separate room for my office. And thirdly, a bathtub. Those were the three things that I wanted to have. Didn't even, you know, I didn't even want to have a balcony, even though now I have 2 balconies in the new flat, like a small one and a pretty large, good, well-sized one. Let me put it this way. So, you know, I'm taking it. Why not? Brian Crawford, hi, thanks for tuning in, Brian. How are you doing? Did you choose to speak in a more North American accent than a British one, or was it an unconscious process? That is a very good question, Brian. In Germany, when German students learn English in school, or even today in kindergarten, when I went to kindergarten in the mid to late 90s, that wasn't a thing. Like, we didn't learn English in kindergarten, whereas I think that's the normality nowadays in Germany. And that's a good thing, because I don't think you cannot start learn a language too early, I don't think. It can only be beneficial at the end of the day. So, because the brain of children and, you know, small children especially is still in development quite a lot, and it sucks in information differently than an adult would, you know, so it does make a huge difference. I actually started learning English in school in 5th grade, in my 5th grade, which was in 2002. And I would say the vast majority and the normal case in German schools when it comes to English lessons, you know, and English courses and everything, is you get taught British English. That is the normality. That is the standard procedure. Why that is, I don't know for sure. It might have to do something with, you know, post World War II, you know, and certain areas of Germany being occupied by the Brits, by the French, by the Americans, and by Russians. You know, maybe it has something that plays or that has played into that, but I don't know. In North Rhine-Westphalia, in one of the 16 German states, the one where I live in West Germany, which was, I think, largely occupied by British allies back in the day, it's common to learn British English. However, when I actually graduated in 2011 and had my A-levels, das Abitur, graduated from high school in that sense, or grammar school, I got in touch with more and more American English. And when you watch my very first vlog day videos, which I can't do because it sounds really strange to me when I do that. You know, everything from 2015, 2016, maybe even 2017, I can't watch those old videos so, so well. It feels strange to me to watch those because my English is a lot different there. It's still very much more rooted in British English, I'd say. And then somehow I switched and I leaned more toward American English the further I actually got used to speaking English on a regular basis because of this channel, first and foremost. Because if it hadn't been for this channel, I wouldn't be speaking English the way I do now. Guaranteed. I wouldn't do that because, reading English and reading a language is a completely different thing as opposed to speaking it actively, because you can actually understand everything someone says and read everything and understand everything, but speaking it actively yourself is something completely different. And if you don't do that on a regular basis, if you don't have training in that, if that makes sense, right? And you can only have training if you do it regularly, or kind of regularly at least. And if you don't have that, and that's the case for many Germans actually, you will not improve your level, and in fact, it might actually decrease. You will forget how to speak English if you don't use it or do it regularly. And that applies to pretty much all other languages there are as well, which makes sense, of course. So, but because I actually speak English pretty much on a daily basis right now, because of this channel and interacting with you guys and having gotten to know so many cool people from so many different countries, Canada, the USA, Japan, Australia, it's awesome. It's just awesome, and I couldn't wish for more, to be honest. And that also has contributed to that. So that's a long answer. I personally like pretty much every single variation or variant of English there is, but I don't know. It just happened to be American English, or maybe North American English, that I leaned more toward at some point, and then I just adopted that. But it wasn't a conscious decision. That is what I wanted to say. It wasn't a conscious decision by me. So, sorry for the long answer, but future plans with the channel. Travis, hi. I have some future plans for the channel, definitely. One of the future plans is that I can sort of talk about, because I've also talked about that before, even though it's not, finished yet. It's not something that I really want to do that, but I still don't know how exactly I'm gonna do it. Is I want to offer worksheets for you guys with different topics and different specifications. Some leaning more towards vocabulary, maybe some leaning more toward contextual understanding of texts, sentences, and everything, fill in the gap, that kind of stuff, maybe about different topics, Rammstein and other things related to the German language in Germany, German culture, life in Germany, that is. I definitely want to offer them. However, I'm not too sure about the fee or like the price of them, because it needs to be a reasonable price, and I don't want it to be too expensive, of course. It should be feasible, but it should also justify my effort. It also has to compensate my effort, that is. And I don't know how much I could charge for that yet, because I don't have comparisons. I don't know too much about that field, of study, offering worksheets to people. And the idea is, I will prepare the worksheets, I will offer them to you. You can buy them, so to speak, and buy my consultation with them. You can download them, you can fill them out, the tasks, fulfill the tasks on those worksheets. You can send them back to me, and I will correct them, the tasks, so that you can learn something. What did you do great? What did you do well? Did you do not so well? What do you have to take care of? What do you have to keep in mind? So that it's going to be something helpful for you guys, and a good way for me to improve what I'm, or to to have a progression with the channel, an additional. And I think those worksheets could be a very good idea, and I really want to do it. But I still don't know how much I could, how much that price could be, or what is a reasonable price. And neither do I know how I would offer them. Do I have, or would I have to have like a specific website for those worksheets, like a shop system, which would be one option. I also thought about, having it as a Patreon reward, like a Patreon tier, which could be an option. But then again, I don't know. I just don't know yet. Once I've moved into the new flat and the studio is set up and I've gotten back to working on new videos, and I having gotten back to a routine in terms of that, because for the past 2, 3, 4 weeks ish, I couldn't really work on too many videos because of things that had to get handled, and meetings with the previous tenants, and the landlords, and back and forth. And don't want to complain, don't get me wrong, but it was just lots of stuff to do. My dad turned 60 last weekend, so I couldn't work there. So concerts, Rammstein concert last weekend, and all that kind of stuff. So all of that prevented me from working too much on videos this month, which, sometimes it's just the way it is. But I will definitely get back to having a routine there in the future once I'm in the new flat. And then I'm also going to think more about the worksheet option once more. So we'll see. I also want to improve and maybe change or add some Patreon tiers. Maybe something that I would also like to do more is, if it's possible, it might not be possible every single time with every single video that I'm gonna do, but sometimes it might be possible. I want to offer, or I want to publish videos early for people, for supporters, for instance, so that they can watch them early and comment on them, and be the first to watch them, something like that. I want to do that more. So yeah, but I'm also gonna have an informative news type of video once everything is set up and I've decided on things in the future, so you won't miss out on that. But thanks for asking, of course, because that shows me that you guys, at least some of you, I guess, really want to know what's gonna happen next, with the channel. So that is cool. Thank you. And appreciate it. You're so lucky. I really need to see Rammstein. I love them so much. I can't wait for the video. It's funny, actually. It was a concert that was originally scheduled for 2020. Then it had to be postponed to 2021. Then it had to be postponed a second time to 2022. We all know why. And now it could actually take place. There was a concert in Düsseldorf, which is the capital city of the state North Rhine-Westphalia, the German state where I live in. And I didn't get tickets. I tried in 2020, I tried in 2021, didn't get tickets, couldn't manage to get them. And I thought to myself, maybe I will never be able to watch Rammstein live, because sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to get Rammstein tickets. Which speaks for the band, I think, or in favor of them. So I actually kind of resigned from, the thought of getting tickets anytime soon. And then one day, like 3 weeks ago, more maybe, I read on Instagram, I saw a post from Rammstein that they would offer additional tickets, because now they know how, the stadium, the, the 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 stage within the stadium, within the arena, will be set up, and how much, from the stands, how the perspective from the stands is, and how well people can still see the stage from a certain angle and perspective, so they can adjust and add some more tickets even, and sell a few more additional tickets. And I was one of the lucky ones. I immediately thought, now or never. And I went for it. And I knew that, me and my dad, we just love going to concerts together. It's just like a son and dad type of thing that we love to do. Quite regularly by now, actually. I think we've been to 4 or 5 concerts this year so far. We're about to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers live in early of July. I think on July 5th in Cologne, which I'm also really looking forward to. And he as well. And then, I bought the tickets, one for me, one for my dad, because I knew that, he's going to turn 60 in just a few days. I didn't tell him. It was a complete surprise for him. And he was really, when he unwrapped all the presents that he got from, the family and friends and everything, and he saw the Rammstein tickets, and he saw that, we're gonna see Rammstein on the next day. One day after your 60th birthday. He was really in awe. He was really looking forward to it, and it was great to see his smile and everything. And you can also see a picture of me and my dad on my Instagram, which is Dave_Durden, because I posted a few pictures of that concert, and the last picture in that slide is one of me and my dad that we took after the show. And you can see how happy my dad is in that picture, and it was awesome. It was just an awesome experience. Yeah. So bucket list, see Rammstein play live at least once. Yep, can check that. Definitely want to see them again, because, as I've said before, great concert. I'm gonna. I actually filmed something there, and and took photos, and we'll have a little vlog about that soon-ish. So stay tuned for that. I think I really need to get used to answering questions a bit shorter. Sometimes I feel, because I'm so much behind the chat at some point, but I don't want to keep myself, or I don't want to stop myself too much, because I like talking, and I want to answer questions thoroughly. So hope you bear with me on that aspect. I'm going to a Rammstein concert in September. You will definitely enjoy that. It's an awesome production, a huge production, and yeah, it was awesome. It was just awesome. I finally caught live. Kayla, Ryan, hi. Yes, is it your first live stream? Could be one, right? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Kayla. I really, really appreciate that. Where are you from? Tell me a little bit about yourself, if you want to, of course, because I'm always curious. I'm a curious person. Where are you from? What time is it? And everything. My background is German, and I've tried to learn German so many times. What's everyone's opinion on Duolingo or apps that teach you in other languages? Are they precise? That is a question for you guys more than for me, because since I'm a native speaker, I don't use Duolingo for learning German or other learning apps. So I can't really answer that question myself, but maybe you guys can. So feel free to take Kayla, which I think is a beautiful name, by the way. So yeah, there's a problem that will occur though. If your computer is your working computer and your personal computer, you will still have some things mixed together. And working in a field where I pretty much need the best of the best from my computer, I can tell you that. Thinking about investing that money again for a gaming PC, that's a real turn off. Yeah, I can relate. that was that PC with all the, the setup and the ingredients, if you will, wasn't cheap. That was quite pricey, to be honest. But for video production and everything, of course, and also for gaming, it's good to have a well-rounded computer. But let's be honest, when you go out of the store, taking this as an example, when you bought a PC and at a store and you walk out of the store with that new PC, it's already old when you leave the store. That's the way with technical stuff these days. And maybe it has been like that all the time. But it's crazy. It's really crazy. So it's pretty much outdated the second you walk out of the store. That's just the way it is today. I'm trying to learn German too, slowly teaching myself and watching Dave's videos, of course. Thank you very much for doing that. That is one thing that I also have to mention and have to stress. Don't just use my channel for that. I can be, maybe for some people, I can be one additional factor in learning more about the German language and culture. But I can't cover 100% of everything that is important when it comes to the language and the culture, life in Germany. And I can only give my perspective on things as a native speaker, as a native German guy. And I can share that, and I love to share that with you guys because I'm curious. I love that you are curious. We are all curious people, I guess. So I just love it. But that would be also one of my advices that I would give is, if possible, try to learn with as many options as possible. Reading, listening, watching movies with subtitles at first, and maybe later on, your favorite show that you know by heart, for instance. If you have that, watch it in German. Because when you know what people are about to say, and you watch that show that you know by heart, or that movie, with German subtitles, for instance, and in German, you will get a more contextual understanding of what they are actually saying in German and how they actually express that. And maybe at some point in the future, you will actually get to the point where you can actually turn off the subtitles at all, and you can just watch that in German. And I think that's a neat option, for instance. So it's one of the most important advices that I can give is immerse yourself with the language you want to learn as much as you can, without stressing that too much, without putting yourself under stress, of course. It should always be fun to learn something new. It should never feel forced. It should always be about the fun in doing that, because the point, or from the point on where it's not fun anymore, it won't work. It's as simple as that. Dave likes Comic Sans. Nah. I'm definitely not a fan of Comic Sans, but I wouldn't use it myself. But if people want to use it, I believe in the thought that as long as it doesn't hurt people and it doesn't limit the personal freedom and peace, happiness of a person, do what you want to do. Even if I don't like it, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do that. And I'm not talking about criminal things here, not talking about that. That is why I said, as long as it doesn't hurt other people and it doesn't limit their capabilities, if you want to use Comic Sans, feel free to use Comic Sans. If you want to listen to Schlager, feel free to listen to Schlager, But don't expect me to do that. That is also one of the other aspects that is pretty much like a basic factor in the way I think about things and, you know, live life. So, wo wohnst du gerade? Where do you live currently? I live in the Sauerland region, which is a really like it's a region in North Rhine-Westphalia, in the southeastern part of North Rhine-Westphalia, and it's a very nature-heavy region, if you will. We have lots of forest regions. We have lots of hiking trails. We have lots of huge seas. For instance, der Möhnesee, der Sorpesee, where you can do so many, you know, water sports activities, stand-up paddling, you know, using boats and ships and everything like that. You know, there's so much awesome nature where I live, and I love living here. And I have no reason to move to different city or region in Germany, because everything that you could wish for or that I could wish for is here. You know, with the exception of friends, of course, that might not live here but in other regions of Germany that I have to visit, or they come visit me. And, you know, apart from that, but the region itself is awesome. I feel I just love it. Also, the city that I live in it's not like a major city. It's like a mid-sized city. I think it's 90,000 population, 100,000 maybe, but that's it. So it's not too large, but it's not too little. It's in the middle. Run. So I love that. I thought the new one has one. Yes, the new one has an office, has a separate room as an office. Yes, if you mean that, Nico. I can tell you that not having a bathtub can have an advantage, but it doesn't have a bathtub. Yeah, that's true. Either you can have both a shower and a bathtub, or the shower experience will be quite not so nice. That's true. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of using a bathtub as a shower. You know, have that combined. I get why that is practical. I get that, you know, it's okay, but it's not my personal favorite combination. If I had to choose, or if I could choose, I would want to have a separate shower and a separate bathtub for, you know, the things. Of course, taking a bath in the shower and showering yourself in the bathtub. Obviously, Dave, right? Duh. Joanna, hi. Nimchik, I think, is the pronunciation of your last name, right? Nimchik. Or Nimchik. Are always better than not learning at all, but the best way is to try it. Which one is the best for you? Do it's very repetitive. You know, one of the best things also, if it's possible, which might be a rare occasion, I know that, but if it's possible, learn a language with a native speaker. Doesn't matter if it's via like an app or like an online course or something like that, with a native speaker. That is one of the best things you can do. So, yeah. What type of car do you own, if you do own one? I own a car, but I don't use it quite often, to be honest, because it's very old. By now, it's like 22 years old this year. It's a Renault Clio. It's a very small car. I'm not the biggest fan of big cars, to be honest. And I'm not the biggest. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Once again, more power to people that are really car enthusiasts. And I can also appreciate the beauty of cars and different car models and everything, car brands, but I'm not that much into cars. I like to get from A to B, and that's it. You know? But it's a very small car, but I do prefer small cars over bigger cars. Not just because of, you know, parking lots and everything, but I don't feel fine with driving big cars, to be honest. I I'm not used to that either, you know? Maybe that plays into that as well. So, yeah. But apart from, driving to the supermarket or driving to my family, my parents, my brother, or to friends sometimes, apart from those occasions, I don't use it really, and frankly, I don't need it to get to work because it's just a few meters away. I don't need that. Don't need a car for that. So, yeah. Like for, I think, 6 to 7 years, up to 2020, I think it was, or 2021, I think, up to like June of 2021, I actually didn't have a car. I didn't own a car for 6 to 7 years because I didn't need it. And, there was no point in having a car. So, and I didn't really miss it, to be honest, in that, I still could, go to the supermarket or, go shopping with, grocery shopping, that is, with my parents, for instance, when they also needed to go to the supermarket. We would do that together. We would just use one car because it would be enough to store everything. So, some stuff like that. GDD from Australia. Patricia Carter. Hi. Hi, Patricia. I'm sorry. My tongue. I still definitely need to drink more. Oh. And cheers to Australia, of course. Really want to go to Australia at some point as well. I've heard many interesting stories about Australia from my bro, Get Germanized, Vuko, because he's lived in Australia for, I think, at least a year at some point. And I really want to go there at some point. Even though I'm a bit indifferent when it comes to, I'm a bit not the biggest fan of large spiders necessarily. I'm not the biggest fan of spiders, so but we'll see. I'm definitely gonna go there at some point, I think. Brian Crawford, very thorough answer. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes I hope, guys, my answers aren't too long or are too detailed, I don't know. Because sometimes I like talking, as you can tell, which is also one of the reasons I have a podcast, by the way, which is simply called The German Podcast. You can listen to that on all available podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, I think Deezer, Tidal, and all of those. It's available on every one of those. And in podcast apps, The German Podcast. 3 words. It's a podcast in German, but with an English title. And the reason is, it's meant to be a podcast for both Germans or German native speakers, but also for you guys, for instance, who want to learn German and who want to use it as a listening practice of sorts. Or if you just enjoy people or listening to people speaking German, even if you don't understand it, because you like the sound of the language, yeah, why not? And I love recording podcast episodes. And yeah, that is a little plug here, but The German Podcast, my podcast, it's much fun to do that. Rodri Otero. Hi, thanks for tuning in, Rodri. What would you do if you got bald? That's a good question. I mean, I couldn't do too much about it, could I? It's genetics. My dad is bald, pretty much. And I'm not getting younger. I'm definitely getting grayer. Definitely. Don't mind that, though. I actually quite like that. Because it's a nice flavor mixed in with the darkish hair that I have. The dark tone. I don't know. Like, if it's summer, I guess I would wear caps more often. Like a cap. Because of the sunburn, danger and everything. But if it's the way it is, that's gonna be it. Like, I don't know if you can see that. It's getting lighter here. Definitely also need to have a haircut getting done. And it will be time next week. Gonna get a haircut because it's about time once again. So yeah. So I would just live with it. I would just stand my ground. I would just live with it, and yeah. Blue Bilbo. That's an interesting username. Hi. Und sonnige Grüße aus Marburg. Kenne ich dich? Also ich kenne jemanden, der in Marburg wohnt. Ich weiß aber nicht, ob du derjenige bist. Jedenfalls Grüße nach Marburg. Freut mich. Das hier ist meine alte Wohnung, wo ich gerade noch drin bin. Und ich ziehe jetzt ja mehr oder weniger morgen eigentlich in die neue Wohnung. Also ich kriege heute die Schlüssel und ja, freue mich. Herzlichen Glückwunsch, Ikea ist dein Freund. Ja, definitely. 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 Yeah, Ikea definitely is one of my friends here and there. Not sponsored, just stating the obvious. Travis, hi. Brauchst du Hilfe beim Umzug? Ich habe einen Ford Transit und wohne in der Nähe von Bremen. Vielen Dank, Travis, aber das ist nicht nötig. Also ich muss nicht so viel schleppen, denn I just said to Travis and he asked me if I needed help with, moving and everything and transporting stuff, which isn't necessary. But thanks for offering, of course, appreciate it. It's not possible. It's not necessary because I don't need to actually deliver too many large things into the new flat because most of the stuff that you're seeing here will stay in this flat and will be, used by the upcoming tenants. And since, the flat that I'm about to move into, the previous tenant of that flat actually emigrates to the US. So she actually sold pretty much all of her furniture to me, which, cost me some money, of course, but it's all new. It's all like in very good shape. And apart from like a new desk and everything and a new chair, because my chair is freaking old and I can't move it up anymore and everything, and the monitors, the screens are really old as well. Definitely need to get new ones, which would also require much less electricity. Apart from those things and a few more other things, I don't need too many things or too many new things. And I don't have to, transport too many things or too much stuff from this flat to the new flat. It's a lot of, small things, basically all the small things. But it's okay, But thanks for the offer, of course, once more. Much appreciated, but it's not necessary. But thanks. And Bremen would also be not close to where I live, so you would actually have to drive quite some time, at least like 4 hours. So that wouldn't be feasible anyway. Bob, Bob, my eyes, sorry. Sometimes I really have to look twice if I read things correctly. Hey Dave, wie geht's? Mir geht's sehr gut, Bob. Thanks for tuning in. I'm doing very well, to be honest. I can't complain. I enjoy life and the channel and doing this for you guys. Not just this live stream, but everything, the videos and everything. It's just much fun. It's very fulfilling for me personally. I'm about to move into a new flat, and this is one of the last videos / live streams that I will make. Maybe the last, I guess, the last stream video from this flat. There's gonna be one more video that I filmed in this flat that I didn't get around to edit all the way through, which will be a video about learning German with Stranger Things. That will be published soon in a few days. But apart from that, this is pretty much the last day, the last time in this flat. And yeah, I moved in here in October of 2018, and ever since then, I've pretty much, as I've said before, I've recorded almost all of my Rammstein related videos in this room, in this flat, and they are one of my most successful videos, which I'm really happy about, of course. And so it feels strange to move out of this flat to some degree, because yeah, many awesome memories, not just that, but many more as well. Too many to mention. So, but it's a good thing. Mr. Definitely. Hi, I just saw Kraftwerk at 2 shows in the US. My 5th and 6th time seeing them. Awesome. I also made a video about Kraftwerk, which is the German term for a power plant, by the way. Das Kraftwerk, the power plant. And I actually made a video about them and explain what makes them great and so influential, as a German band to the electronica scene. And if you want to check that out, feel free to do that. I think it's titled What Makes Kraftwerk Great, and I pretty much stole that sort of title from Rick Beato, an American YouTuber who I really enjoy watching a lot. He knows a lot about musical theory, and he has a series that's titled What Makes This Song Great, and which I love watching because he actually, pretty much like a detective, he takes a song and isolates the drum track, has isolated drum tracks, isolated vocal tracks, isolated guitars, and because he's a renowned producer, music producer, and he knows what he's talking about, he can explain what makes a song great and work. Why is a certain song so successful? And that is something, even though I don't know too much about musical theory at all, I'm in awe watching those videos of his, and he seems to be a very, very laid back and well-informed and likable person. So I love watching his videos. Cheers to Rick. He will probably never see this, but I really like watching his videos. Rick Beato. It's Rick, R-I-C-K, and Beato is B-E-A-T-O. 2 terms. Rick Beato from, I think, Atlanta. And I just, as a tribute to him, basically, I stole that title. Yeah. Not sponsored, of course, but yeah. Check him out if you are into music and musical theory. I just saw Kraftwerk. I just read that. I'm working on it. I really have to go. Thanks for tuning in, Martina, if you're still watching. Greatly appreciate it. Also, greetings to everyone watching this afterwards as a recording on YouTube. I know you're there. So don't think I don't think of you. I do. Thanks for doing that, because that also means a whole lot. Greetings from the Jersey Shore, USA. Greetings to the Jersey Shore from Germany, from the Sauerland. Thanks, Dave. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. By the way, it's currently 9:33 p.m. I see. Late in the evening. Yeah. See, that's one of the downsides of having like an English channel, which theoretically applies to an international audience, which it does, luckily, and I love it. That's the downside of it, the time zones and the time difference, because I try to stream live in the evening when it's evening in Germany, like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. ish, so that people that are like 6 hours behind might have time to tune in, but there is no perfect time for a live stream. Usually this is for me personally, this right now is a very early live stream. In fact, it might be the earliest live streams I've ever done, because I started this one, I think, 1:45 p.m., like really early in the day still. So yeah, I try to mix it up here and there, but it's difficult. I have used Duolingo for about 6 years. I speak passable, I simple Italian, and passed the A2 test. Also Ling DW Deutsch, Deutsche Welle, Deutsch für euch. Cheers to Katja, and greetings to Katja, of course. She's a colleague of mine. Check her out and her channel Deutsch für euch. She also has great videos on there. Also, Herr Antrim, yeah, Levi. Levi is a great guy as well. Cheers to Levi, another mate of mine, like a work or like a colleague, basically, another YouTuber, that is what I want to say, who is an American, I think, teaching German, which is also awesome, like a fresh, different perspective. So that can only be beneficial. The most important thing is to do it every day. Yeah, definitely will help. My family was originally from the Elsass and spoke very funny dialect that I believe resembles Saarland Deutsch. Can you confirm, deny? I think that is pretty much the dialect that is spoken in that region, in the Saarland, das Saarland, which is one of the tinier German states in West Germany, very close to the French border. So yeah, and for many years actually, back in the day, there was like a debate, or even I think wars, in terms of, does Elsass-Lothringen, the Elsass region, belong to Germany or to France? And up to this day, it belongs to Germany, but it's a very bicultural region, if that makes sense. It's very much influenced by German and the German side, the German way of life, and also French way of life. So it's a mixture of both, which I think is really cool, as far as I know, because I'm not from there. Tobi, hi! Danke fürs Einschalten. Wo ist deine neue Bude jetzt? In derselben Stadt? Im Prinzip nur ein paar Meter weiter, aber halt größer und geiler und ja, alles besser. Schön hell und so. Freue mich schon sehr. Da werde ich demnächst auch nochmal wie gesagt, so ein kleines Video zu machen und das wahrscheinlich mal hier und da ein bisschen zeigen. 7:45 a.m. for me now from Connecticut, USA. Cheers to Connecticut, greetings to there, and Derek McDonald, hi to you, Derek. Thanks for tuning in. Rammstein is the best, they are. Definitely. Can't wait to see Rammstein live in September. Going to be fun. Have a great time there. It was a great show that I attended last week in Düsseldorf in Germany. Wow. What a stage production that is. Danke für den Ohrwurm. All the small things. Love that song. You know, some of you might have seen one or two of the album listening parties, the album listening videos that I've done recently, or live streams, I should say. And I want to keep them coming. There's going to be one for the new Porcupine Tree album very soon. It came out, it was released on Friday. Porcupine Tree are a British progressive rock band, art rock band that I love. And I'm really excited. I haven't listened to the album, and I really had to stop myself from listening to it because I want to do it as a live first time listening reaction with you guys. And in case you don't know what my album listening parties are all about, it's pretty much a mixture of an album reaction and a German lesson. So it's going to be both in one. And usually as a live stream, as a live reaction. For you guys, you can join in, you can listen to the album, to the artist, maybe even for the first time if you're curious and open-minded when it comes to checking out new music, which I hope some of you are, because that is always something that I personally love, checking out new music. So there's going to be one for Porcupine Tree coming up. And the reason why I say that now is because Toby actually mentioned All the Small Things by Blink-182, song and a band that I really like. But Blink-182 is one of those bands that I haven't really checked out their albums at all. I know their singles and I like them, I love them even, but I haven't really listened to their albums yet. And so I could definitely see myself listening to some Blink-182 and giving a German lesson on the song titles, explaining the words in the song titles and maybe one or two lines in the lyrics in the chorus that stand out and what they translate to in German. So yeah, I could definitely see myself doing that in the future as well for Blink-182. So we'll see. Wir sterben weiter, bis wir leben. Yeah. Great line. Stranger Things. Yes, Dave. What would be your favorite song from Zeit? I may have asked this already. If so, I apologize. No worries. If I overlook something like a question or something like that, feel free to post it again. That's not a problem at all. Sometimes I just, overlook things by accident. My favorite song on Zeit. It's hard to say that because there are many different songs that are great for different reasons, and you can't really compare those differences necessarily. But in terms of the overall profoundness and emotional depth, I'd say Zeit, the title track, definitely is one. Angst is one, also a very important song right now. I've also made videos about or with me explaining the German lyrics in English and translating them and explaining what is interesting and special about them linguistically speaking. So if you want to check them out, I've done one for Zickzack, for Zeit, and for Angst. I will also make one for each of the other songs on the album, one by one, and yeah. So Amida Tristan is really cool. I like all of those songs, to be honest. Giftig might be one of the most underrated songs on the album. Zickzack has a nice groove to it. Yeah. By the way, guys, I don't know if you have actually read that. I think a few days ago there was an event where I think Paul from Rammstein, one of the guitarists, was, and like a meet and greet sort of thing. And one of the fans asked him if Rammstein would be done after this tour, because certain people thought of that, the possibility, because of the last song Adieu, which means goodbye and saying farewell. And he said, not quoting him, but he said something to the effect of, no, we're far from being done. We want to continue. We still have fun doing this. So we intend to continue. So just throwing that in there because I think many people actually were worried that they would stop after this album. And apparently they don't plan to stop yet. Just so you know. Dave, what would be your... I just read that. Patricia, hey Dave, if you come to Australia, come to South Australia. We have some places and things to do here, especially in February and March. Have a month and a long festival. Awesome. Yeah, that's one of the things I keep saying that in pretty much all live streams, but it's the truth. I couldn't really travel in my life yet. I didn't really have the means to travel, the financial means or the time, or like a mixture of both. Sometimes I there was always something that prevented me from traveling. And I've never been outside of Europe, for instance. I've barely been outside of Germany. I've been to the Netherlands. I've been to France. I've been to, or like we've driven through Italy and Austria, but we haven't really stayed there. I've been to the Czech Republic, close to the border, like one afternoon many years ago. But that was about it, you know. And that is something that I would like to do more in the future, especially the US, but also Australia, for instance, and other parts of the world. And maybe at some point I can have I can, literally speaking, afford it, you know, because sometimes it just doesn't work out time-wise. As I've said before, sometimes, you know, there are monetary issues, because flying can be quite expensive, as you guys might know as well. I've never flown, by the way. I've never been on a plane yet. Yep. In California, yeah. Can I ask, what does the head pillow read? Yes, you can. I think, is it mirrored for you guys? I think it might be mirrored, because for me, streaming right now in my smartphone, it is mirrored. It says, I think I spider, which is a pun, a literal translation of the German saying or idiom, ich glaub, ich spinne, which could be translated to I think I spider, even though spinne, ich denk, ich spinne, or ich glaub, ich spinne, means I think I'm crazy, you know? I think I'm going crazy. Or, you know, you might say that when you are surprised about something and you can't believe that that has happened or that that exists, you know, you might say something like that, ich glaub, ich spinne. Or if you witness someone doing something very stupid, maybe having like a very stupid but harmless accident, something like that, you know, and you go like, ich glaube, ich spinne. What have you done? You know, and that is pretty much a literal translation, even though it doesn't have anything to do with spiders, but it's a play on that. So a literal translation, a funny literal translation, basically a translation fail, even, if you will. So that is what that says. Derek, hi. I'm Pennsylvania Dutch. I actually wanted to make have like a reaction video for Pennsylvania Dutch at some point. We'll see. Yeah. Good night, Dave and Phil. Friends, bedtime. Kind of take care. Same to you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. Great new band I just found new month ago is Ad Infinitum. Ad Infinitum, I think it's in English, but in Latin and basically German, it's Ad Infinitum. Melissa Bonney is a great singer. I need to check them out. Thanks for the suggestion and recommendation. Hello, I'm a bit late. Do you move to other country? No, I'm moving to, I'm actually staying in the same city. I'm just moving like a few streets into a new flat. So I will stay here where I am in my region and everything. And by the way, that was asked by mhacker1812. Thanks for tuning in. Hallo mein Freund, says Mohammad Hossein Kenbazarde Bahambari. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I tried not to butcher it. So many people were saying final album. I was thinking they better not. Yeah, I was worried about that as well, because you could. I've actually reacted to the album live as an album listening party, what I've just mentioned a few minutes ago. You can check that out on my channel. Just type in Rammstein Zeit album reaction or something like that on YouTube and Vlog Dave, and you will find the video if you want to watch that. And after the song played, until the last song, I thought, you could very well comprehend that or understand that as the band saying goodbye to the fans. It's one possible, plausible explanation. But from what I know, as I've said before, a recent interview by Paul, I think it was, he said that no, they don't plan on stopping, they don't plan to stop. They will keep going as long as they have fun. And right now they still have fun and enjoy what they are doing. So I guess it's much more likely that they will continue. And that the song, he also said that it's just a song about goodbye in general, like losing someone and, going to the funeral of that person and all of that stuff. It's just a song about saying goodbye. Aren't you married yet? No, I am not. And I don't have any plans on being married right at the moment because I'm single and I'm a happy single. But never say never. Nothing against marrying, of course, but nothing planned at the moment. Plane rides are so fun. I'm really curious as to how plane rides will be for me because as I've said before, I've never been on a plane. I've never flown in that sense. But at some point in life, I will, I guess. So we'll see. I saw the T and thought it says, I think spider. Spider is a verb. Yes, spinnen. That is, the play here is with the plural term for spider in German, which is die Spinnen. The singular term is die Spinne, the spider, and the plural term is die Spinnen. But spinnen itself as a term can also be a verb, which means, to spin or to, in like, maybe nodding this, for instance, etwas spinnen, like a piece of furniture, for instance, or like a blanket of sorts. Etwas spinnen, etwas nähen, that is similar. And it can also mean, in a more colloquial sense, to do something that is kind of crazy, or to do something that is, but in a mostly harmless way. To do something that is dumb, but you still want to do it. Du spinnst. You're crazy, why? Go for it if you want to do that. Okay, but du spinnst. You're mad. Why? That is pretty much spinnen, the verb. Have you seen text in German? No, I haven't. I want to react to that though in the future. So if you have a video link for a text in German video on YouTube that I could react to, feel free to post that. Or to, on my socials, you can find them in the video description if you want to follow me, or as a comment, or, stuff like that. Well, that explains a lot of me German friend. Well, it's great, spiders. Sorry. Tasha Starling, hi, by the way. Tasha, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, just cool when cultures see something different or have different context, especially to early things. That's a good starting point. Okay, thanks for the recommendation once again, Derek. We'll listen to that. I'm part German, hence my blonde hair and blue eyes. I love your channel. I love everything German. Hi from Ashland. See, that is where Germans could actually struggle, is with the abbreviations of American states. At least I do. Is KY, is that, what is KY? Is that no. Kentucky? No. Is it Kentucky? I don't know. That is something that many Germans will struggle with, I guess. At least I do. Nothing wrong with that though. Feli recently did a Pennsylvania Dutch reaction video. She, well, understanding them. Feli is a very, very nice person as well. Very, very likable person. I once, I think, was it last year or like the previous year, I had an interview with her. I interviewed her about her life in Ohio, as a German living in the US, and it was lots of fun. She's a great person, so cheers go out to Feli, and yeah. Wow, Dave, I was out fishing yesterday and I got a book stuck in my hoodie and it scratched my arm a little. Ouch! Aua! Aua, we would say in Germany, by the way. It's A-U-A. Aua. Or just A-U. Ow. It's the interjection equivalent to saying ouch when you experience pain, right? In English. In German, we would say aua. That was a cool explain. Thank you. Hi, okay. Kentucky. Ah, I see. Love hearing you, Dave. Must say good night, gute Nacht. Good night to you, Patricia. And guys, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good noon, day, good day to you as well. Because this is the end of the live stream. I'm sorry, but I'm really hungry. I need to eat something. Haven't eaten anything yet, but I really wanted to have this live stream, and I didn't plan on having this last for 1.5 hours. But it's always fun talking to you guys and with you. So this is one last goodbye to the old flat, and thanks for everything, flat, for all the memories. And yeah, the next live stream will take place in the new flat, and I'm really looking forward to that. Hope you do too. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for asking the questions. If I couldn't answer your question yet in this live stream, feel free to, tune into the next live stream, ask them once again. Or if you have more questions, additional questions, feel free to ask me in the next Q&A AMA live stream that will take place soon-ish, I think. So thanks and cheers to wherever you are on the globe. I appreciate your support and everything. It truly means a lot. It helps a lot. So thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, rest of the weekend, basically. Great rest Sunday, so to speak. And we're about to see each other very soon in a new live stream and a new video. So thanks once again. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye bye. Thank you.